Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, and welcome back to the Thriving Your Life video series. This is the fourth video in the four-part series, so I'm hoping you've watched the first three videos. If you haven't, go ahead and watch those up above. They'll be coming down in about a week or so I'll tell you more about that in a bit. In the first three videos, if you remember them or if you haven't seen them, I'll give you a brief description. The first one we talked about when it comes to thriving your life and getting well on the physical levels, like the chronic conditions, the autoimmune conditions, the other kinds of chronic pain conditions. It's important to heal the gut. The gut is a very important place for all sorts of healing, and that getting over any conditions in the gut is key to getting the root conditions solved for chronic and mysterious type conditions. And that going off of gluten is very key for that. So if you haven't seen that, it's right up above. It's a great bit of information for you. In the second video, we talked about the thymus gland and how the immune system, for helping people with chronic conditions, especially autoimmune conditions, the immune system has a gland here called the thymus that's very, very important. In fact, the Greeks had a very high thought about that. They thought it was the seat of the soul and your emotions and your daring, and a very important organ. We learned that the white blood cells that come to attack invaders like viruses and bacteria and cancer cells actually come from the bones in the arms and the legs, in the bone marrow, and come up here, and then the thymus gland tells it what to go attack. The problem is that sometimes our own bodies go attack ourselves, and that's when you have an autoimmune condition. So we talked about that and how getting rid of toxins in your environment is very key to having a healthy bone system and also a healthy thymus system. So in the third video, we talked more about some of the non-physical parts of autoimmune conditions, the self against self thing. And I talked a little bit about how I had some things where I was attacked over the years and had to find root causes for myself and fix conditions with my bones, and it's what led us up here to the Pacific Northwest. And there's more to that story that I alluded to, and I'll be talking to you a little bit about that today. But in that third video, we talked about the gift, which is your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs and how you feel about things, and how you can shift these things to have more of an empowered mindset. So we kind of talked about the shifting out of a victim mindset to an empowered mindset. And in this video, I'm going to show you some key ways, another key way to do that, a really cool exercise that I think you're going to really enjoy. Along the way, we're going to be doing some other really, really fun stuff. So, hello, this is the day. This is the day we get to do one of the most important root causes that's in the way of you thriving in your life. And it's another layer of the victim mindset, and so that you can live from a more empowered mindset, so you can thrive your life on all levels. You know, I know some of you have been dealing with autoimmune conditions and chronic conditions and medical conditions of all sorts, pain conditions. And others of you, and sometimes, and also some of you with the chronic conditions, are also just dealing with a life that's not working very well for you. You're just not thriving, you know, the money, the financial stuff, and just what you're here to do. And you just like, life is passing you by, and you know you have a bigger life, but it's not rocking for you. And so I get it. I've been in places like that, but whether you're dealing with the chronic conditions, the medical conditions, or more of the financial stuff, or just life just isn't going the way you really envisioned it, this is for you. And we're going to be going over some cool stuff in shifting victim mindset to an empowered mindset today. And it can help the physical as well as the mental, emotional, spiritual stuff. It's going to be working on the inner game. And it's even going to be helping you with the financial stuff, the money stuff, the abundance stuff, because it all ties together. And what I've noticed over the years is 32 years of doing this work to help people heal on all sorts of levels, the physical especially, but as people get well, they start connecting with what they're really here to do. And a lot of that has to do with the money and the financial stuff. Let's be honest, you know, if you had enough money to do what you wanted to do, you could do a lot of stuff, and you could have much more meaning in your life. So while it's not the thing that's the prime importance, it's an important thing. So I know it might be, it's sounding kind of impossible. Like, you know, if you've been watching the first three videos, you've seen how some conditions can be shifted really quickly. And so, you know, we talked about Matthew Matthew Castillo, who left a really wonderful success story of how he had a chronic condition, a shoulder problem that was limiting him in his ability to play the guitar, which is one thing that he does very, very, very well. And he also had some problems with his hair falling out. And as that shifted with his treatments, with his sessions, and I saw him over Skype, he not only shifted that cleared up, but he also made a big decision in his life, and he moved states away to live with his girlfriend and to start a new life. And his success story, if you haven't seen it, is in the first few videos. It's quite remarkable how when somebody shifts their physical condition, they can have a big shift and epiphanies in life and really change belief patterns, because these root causes that are in place that are keeping physical conditions in place are also some of the same root causes that are keeping conditions in place as far as finances and relationships and life purpose. So getting to the root cause is key, and that's what we found in the first video earlier. So, you know, if you've been on my first 3 videos, you've seen that the idea that, you know, we've talked about this, if you just go try to decrease symptoms, you know, like a lot of medical systems and even alternative medical systems and meditations, if you just try to decrease symptoms with a drug or a supplement or a meditation and, you know, just trying to manage your symptoms, you're kind of buying into a 7-day-a-week job, you know, and what is it going to be like years from now, you know, if you haven't solved it. So what we want to consider with this type of work is by finding the root cause of your condition, your body actually likes that, and it likes to heal and it likes to feel good. Once you find the root cause, your body just rolls with it. The ball starts rolling and you get healthier and healthier. It's kind of like a river that's being polluted. If you quit the pollution and just let nature do what nature does, you come back a year later and the river is healthy again. So that's kind of how your body is too. When we get to these root causes, your body likes to heal and it can heal. So, okay, and then what we notice is you could get on with your true meaning in life, you know, what you're really here to do. So my wife wrote a beautiful article about that, and I'll leave that with you in one of the emails that I'll be sending you. So in much the same way as Matthew had unexpected improvements, you know, he thought he was coming for some physical changes and maybe some metaphysical kind of shifts and things. He had some real world changes in his life, you know, his relationship and his life and what he gets to do in his life. He's shifting his business even. So it's unusual for my clients not to have unexpected miracles. There's a story of this woman I saw years ago, and she came to see me for autoimmune conditions, and I was working with her. She was making some changes, and she was feeling very, very good shifts in the physical world. What was interesting was, as we started going through the sessions, she told me that, you know, I haven't talked to my sister since we were 5 years old. But my sister, out of the blue, contacted me, that's what she said, and wants a relationship with her. So that's interesting, huh? So as these root causes shift in one area, the physical, other things can shift into non-physical, and that includes the relationships. I had a family, excuse my voice, I've been doing a lot of work today, so I do a lot of work over Skype, and you know, it's awesome, but sometimes I talk quite a bit, so excuse my hoarseness today. So I have a family that saw me for headaches and neck and back pain and knee pains, and it was really fun. They were laughing, I was laughing, everybody was having a good time. Jen was even working with them, and Jen, my wife. Well, about a week later, they unexpectedly found money. So an unexpected grant of money came in, and they both had their college paid for. The 2 kids, they were both in their 20s. This was unexpected, completely out of the blue. And then another remarkable thing happened. A few weeks later, their mom, who had a very serious mental condition, she had a significant problem, she was well. And the woman told me that her mom was actually well. And she's been continuing to be shifted in these areas. So it's interesting. I wasn't working on her mom. I wasn't working on the finances, but those things shifted as well. So as you go through these series and these sessions, you might notice what else is different, even things you didn't think you were working on. I had a woman once that told me that she was so glad her shoulder was a problem, and she came to see me because of her shoulder, because when I worked on her, her husband quit yelling at her. But I didn't work on her husband. So I've had things that have surprised me beyond belief. And I'm leaving out so many stories, but I want you to get an overall sense of this. So I'll tell one more. I had a woman that was working with me, and she wanted to write a book. And she also had some health concerns. And so I was working with her over the phone. And her husband also had a company that was having very significant problems, an international company, and it was looking like it was going to go under, and that they were going to lose their technology, lose their patent, and or lose it to somebody else. Bottom line, she had significant shifts in her physical health. She's moved to a different city, that one city that she really loves, and was finishing writing her book. And her husband unexpectedly found it was over $200 million deal that came in. So I definitely wasn't working on that, but I've noticed shifts change, things change in ways that just inspire and amaze me. And if you've been on our YouTube channel, you've seen that we have a lot of views and a lot of people leaving wonderful comments, and people that I've never met and haven't even had sessions with, official sessions. They've just watched the videos that are actually encoded with this matrix energetics technology. They're reporting changes in all sorts of physical and non-physical changes. So including money and financial stuff and having more clients. So you might want to go to the YouTube channel and check out those. They're really wonderful. And this technology is encoded in the videos. So simply by being with me here today on this video, you might be noticing a change. So let me know what you're noticing. All right, so the victim to the empowered mindset. This is one that's really key. And, you know, this was something that I learned firsthand because it's getting a little chilly out here right now. And we actually slept outside when we first moved into this house years ago. And it was because our house was very toxic. And, you know, you've heard the story of all the problems I had in San Diego and then coming up here and stuff I had to solve, the physical problems and the other problems. And I kept running farther and farther away because things kept seeming to attack me. And we talked about the thymus and the thyroid and how those are parts of relationships, and shifting that can help. But I came up here and all of a sudden the house was attacking me. And again, I was left with this thing of running out of money and running out of health. And my wife was sick and my little boy was sick. And we were sleeping outside while we were scrambling to try to get our house fixed. So my wife told me at one point, you've got to get happy, man. Because I was getting so frustrated. You can imagine, you know, I'm sleeping outside and my family's outside and they depend on me. And I had a good life in San Diego, and here I was. It's like, what the heck? So, you know, understandably, I was really upset and just mad beyond belief. So I learned a lot of stuff. I studied with a lot of coaches, and I think that's important to study with coaches. I studied with people that had figured this out before. I read a lot of books. I listened to a lot of online courses. I worked with healers and coaches in person, and I started to shift my victim mindset. And I learned a lot of stuff. And I'm going to be sharing you one exercise in that, a couple of them today in this video series, to shift that. One thing that I found that was very, very important. We shared one in the earlier video with the gift, so you can go back and see that one too. So bottom line is I shifted it, and I found that I really did want to get back in the world and get back into a big world. And as a result, I learned a whole bunch more stuff about how to help people shift this pattern so they could not only get over the autoimmune and the chronic conditions and the medical type conditions, things that are attacking them on the physical level, but shift the victim mindset issues, the root causes that are affecting people on the spiritual level and the mental and emotional level, and causing all sorts of problems. So I learned that, and now I've got a big life, and I get to see people from all over the world. You know, I'm hoarse today, so I'm talking so much. So here we go. So I'm going to show you, have you guys do a technique. You can try this. It's actually very, very powerful beyond what it feels like. I actually paid $250 to learn this technique from a healer, and this is a modified version of it for you, a version for you that's very, very powerful. So, you know, it's not hard to find the issues. It's not hard to get pointed in the direction of where the issue is. And where you can look is where your button is. So this is the training part of this video, one of the trainings. So something that I found very powerful for me. So here we go. So the things that push your buttons, whatever makes you really, really mad, that's where the gold is. And so it's a button. And so you could ask when you have a button come up, whether it's around money or a belief or somebody really irritates you or a certain type of person always attacks you or something happens, and it's something that happens regularly with you, and it's something that you've seen over and over again. It's like, oh my God, that again. And you can feel like it's somebody else's fault, and you're just like, God, if they just wouldn't do that, your button. You can ask yourself, who is it that's looking at this thing this way? Now, when you ask that question, you can instantly go back to some point in time. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, that's my 14-year-old self. Or sometimes you'll be like, that's my dad talking. Or, oh my God, that's what happened when it was like here. So you can ask yourself, who is looking at it this way? What version of you or what version of somebody else that you're playing it out now is looking at this way? And then you can check in and go, how would God or love, unconditional love, or universal consciousness, or your higher self, whatever you want to call that, how would that see this? So how would God or universal consciousness or love see this? And then you could let go, and you're in the matrix now. And you can shift that. And then what can show up is the belief, the epiphany that shows up around like, oh, it was this belief. This came in at that time, and it was for this reason. And so at that point, you can decide to let it go. So whenever you find the belief that it is, if it's somebody else's belief that you took on or some belief, you could go, okay, I am deciding, and the key word here is deciding. Decide, decision, I've made a decision. That word is really, really important. It's like a line in the sand. So we're going to you can have an opportunity right now. You can go to whatever belief that is, and then you can say, I have decided right now to let that go. And some of you might feel that. And then you can say and know and believe to come in with a new belief. So what might be a better belief? I have decided to believe this instead. I have decided this instead. Now that can seem like just nice wishful thinking, but if you do it like we just did it, and you can replay this section over and over again with different beliefs that you come in, if you do that, you could make a big change. Because when you make a decision, especially when you're in the matrix like we are right now, things happen. So you can try that and let me know what you notice. Scroll down and leave me a comment on that. I'd love to hear. So a little later in this video, we're going to be doing another exercise to shift beliefs and root causes, so you can experience more financial abundance, the money, which is an important part of it all. So look for a little later for that in the video. So for you right now, if you could go 3 years in the future of what you'd like life to look like and feel like you did in some of the earlier videos, if you could do that now, just imagine what life could be like having solved your chronic conditions, your autoimmune conditions, your pain conditions, other medical conditions, shifting and solving the root causes of mental and emotional and spiritual and those kind of belief conditions, financial abundance issues, and getting to the true meaning of your life. If you could imagine that now, just notice that. Okay, so tell me this. Do you have 1 hour a week, to have an actual session where your root causes can be found, uncovered, and shifted, changed, so you can feel better right away during the session? And also where you would have one thing to do, one thing that I could give you each week that could make all the difference in the world. One of the key things to do for you, specifically for you. Something specific to do that week. And yes, I promise it'll just take 1 hour a week and just doing one thing a week at the most. That's all the investment it'll take to make a difference in your life and your family's life and your future life. And who knows, maybe somebody else's life too once you do this. So the thing is, we focus our efforts on things we focus our efforts on, they'll improve. But the thing is, if we focus our efforts on something with a successful coach at our side, we're going to get dramatically improved results. And I'm here to tell you, I'd love to be that coach for you. So allow me to take the guesswork out of moving from the theoretical to the practical of what I presented in these first videos, the ones earlier this week. And what is needed to actually get to the root cause for you, your exact root cause. There's my little boy playing with the light. Try it, Vin. Let's see. Turn on the light. Well, maybe not. So allow me to be that coach for you. Now, your root cause that's been in the way of you getting the life that you want, and also giving you exactly what you need to get your life back. Your health, your life, including your abundance, and even the money on all levels, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, the inner game, the toxic stuff, the victim stuff, the financial stuff, the root causes of what's been in the way of you thriving your life. So what would your transformation look like? Your thrive your life version of reality. So these once a week sessions that I'm talking about right now, they're going to be strategically laid out to build an amazing transformation in your life. Solving the health stuff, the chronic stuff, the mindset stuff needed to truly thrive, and thrive even, yes, on the money stuff, the abundance stuff, thriving your life on all levels and living your meaning. Now, these sessions, I'll talk to you more about them in a bit, but they're going to be once a week sessions for a period of time so that we can really get to these root causes for you. And the other part of this program, this Thrive in Your Life program, there's going to be a group session. So once a month, meeting as a group online, and the group is very powerful. You'll be able to keep the video, and what's cool about the group is I actually work on individual people during the session that's part of our group worldwide, and everybody gets a benefit. So it's like when I worked on that one family and their mom improved, or I worked on that one woman and her sister wanted to have a relationship with her. So when I'm working on one person in the group, when you join this program, the Thriving Your Life program, when I work on one person, other people can have a change too. And then it'll come your turn too in the group, but you'll also be having the one-on-one sessions. So it's actually going to be 20 one-on-one sessions that I'm talking about. So the Thriving Your Life program is like connecting the dots. What are the root causes and how do we fix them? And shifting them so that your body heals naturally. And you're abundant on all levels, including anything you truly desire. Knowing exactly what to do, the key things to actually do to get healthy on all levels, physical as well as the inner game stuff and the abundance stuff, and shifting the whole thing. Now you might be thinking, come on, Ralph, the money stuff too, the financial stuff. I mean, yeah, you're a therapist and you help people with the physical stuff, but the money thing? So here's the deal. When I was outside and I couldn't figure things out, and I went through all those coaches and all that training and did so much work to figure the whole thing out, I had to figure out how to make money again because I had kind of moved and I was up here and nobody knew me. So I figured out the money aspect of it. I'm actually going to turn on the light, so hang on a second. So I want to show you that, because what I had to learn was I had to learn how to do the stuff that brought me the financial abundance so I could do more of my healing work with people. And whatever it is that you do, your passion, if you're not thriving with it, if you're not making the money, you might just not know how to do X to get Y, with Y being the money for your big Y so that you can do what you want to do. So I want to have that as part of our thing. So I'm going to do something in a bit that helps us handle that. I'm going to walk us through a little process. So you might also be thinking that, you've never done much online stuff, and this online healing session, it's like, how can that work? But I'm here to tell you that I've had an amazing track record with this. And you can go through our website. I'll leave you links with some of the testimonials. I have so many testimonials for so many years. And most of my clients now are at a distance. I have one client that I had quite a few years ago who was in her 80s, that the family was so concerned about her because she was no longer eating, couldn't keep food down at all. And she was having tubes through both sides trying to figure it out. I had one Skype session with her and saw the issue, saw it shift. The next week I had a Skype session with her and it was good. I even had to ask her, how was your eating? Because she was just talking to me about her hip. And she goes, oh yeah, I'm eating again. So since then I've been seeing her her whole family really. So granddaughters and daughters and in-laws, and so this was all at a distance over Skype. So the online stuff really can work for you. The other thing is, you might be thinking you don't have the time to do all the exercises or things I might give you to do. But no worries, what I'm going to be doing is giving you the core things. I can give you a lot of stuff, and with this program you're going to get a big resource page with 30 or 40 videos now of trainings and exercises and self-treatment techniques. But the cool thing about doing this program is I can tell you just the key ones specifically for you. So you're not going to be just purchasing a series of sessions. You're purchasing your transformation, your ideal life, what your life would look like if you solved the physical stuff, the chronic stuff, the autoimmune stuff, and got to live from an empowered mindset, knowing how to use energy and mindset and get your health back and shift your financial abundance and get on with the meaning of your life to truly be thriving. So that's my offer for you. And I want to do what I promised you earlier in the video, the thing around money. So this is another matrix session, and we're also going to be using real specific technology. So so you can sit back. You might want to close your eyes or just kind of soft focus and think, what is your passion? What is the thing that if you didn't even have to make money, you would still do it? What is that thing? The thing that, when you're at parties, you talk about it even if nobody wants to talk about it. The thing you think about, the thing you buy books on, the thing you're always interested in, the thing you look at documentaries about. What is the thing? What is that thing? What is that? What is your superpower? The thing that you know how to do, some skill or something that that other people might find impossible, but you just love it and you could do it all day long. What is that superpower? And how might that superpower, how might someone's life be transformed because of them working with you? And so what you could do is look for a match. Your superpower and the people that could use what you have to offer. And if you don't totally have a superpower, but you have a lot of interest in an area, who might you study with or learn from or train with? How could you develop more of that thing that you really love to help other people? And so where's the match? Where are those people and what's your gift? So what might you make that could make money helping those people? And you can do the math and figure out how much you would need to have an awesome life. And you could figure out what kind of skills you would need and what else you need to do in order to do this. And as you do that, you could think, who has already done this? Are there people in that field that have already done this work? Or that's their superpower? They could show you how to do what you want to do. Who are those people? And how can you learn from them? And how can you grow and become the person that can do that for other people? And, I'm a big believer in coaching and getting treatment and fixing stuff up. I've been doing it my whole life. And I've seen the magic for myself and my family. And we get a lot of treatment. And when we don't know how to do something, we get help and we get coaches. And it's what I've done my whole life. And it's what the people that make a big difference in the world do. If you start to study this stuff, you find out that the people that are the big movers and shakers, the people that are making a big difference in the world, growing big businesses, doing big things in health, doing big things in empowerment, all sorts of things like that, they take lots and lots of classes. And they have lots of coaches, and they have individual coaches, and they spend a lot of money on that. And so how can you invest in your future so that who's already done what you have or what you want is a no-brainer to somebody else. So when you think like that, you can imagine what your life would be like with that kind of money, doing what you love to do, having trained and known and gotten what you need. So let's go to that space, get clear, and know what you want and know how to get there. Awesome. As you go through these sessions with me, if you choose to do this program, I'll actually show you how I do what I do. And how I can say with certainty that I know some of you are having some big shifts out there on this video. And it's because it's been my reality. I've gotten lots of confirmation that this really works. So this Thriving Your Life program, energy is the first part, and I can show you how to do this. So you can do this for yourself and your family. And how you can have the mindset that goes with that. And get not only your health, but also your financial abundance, your money, and even more important than that, goes with it though, what you're here to do, your meaning, your purpose. Whew. So you might notice what you notice how that feels. You know, I have kid my wife that if I was the benevolent dictator, I'd just tell everybody what to do. Because if somebody has certain conditions, I just know that we can make a big change if they just do what we say. And when I say we, it's me and my wife. We have a lot of information. And then have a few sessions. And I know that everybody does have a choice. But if you are ready to really get your life back, to truly thrive your life, then I'm here. You can join this program. You can join me. And it's actually going to be fun. People actually laugh a lot during the sessions that I have with them over Skype. And you'll be making a big investment in your life as you do this. So these video sessions have been really fun. I hope you've been enjoying them. They're going to be coming down in about a week. Because of the Thrive Your Life program, this program is going to be going on. I'm going to be doing it. And I'm going to be doing it individually with people and in the group. So I only have so much time in my schedule. And so once this registration is closed, we're going to start the program. And it's going to be limited because at some point I'm going to fill up and I'm going to have to shut it down and wait till a spot opens up for somebody to join us. So if you want in, now is the time. Now is your fork in the road. So do you keep living the way you've been living with the chronic pains and conditions, or just not thriving in life, not having the abundance in the life you truly want? Or are you ready? Do you join us here in the Thrive Your Life land, Thrive Your Life tribe, and get to your root causes and get your life back so you can actually thrive your life? If you're like me, you share a goal of having a big life, a truly big life, and thriving on all levels. That's what I wanted, and I went through a lot of stuff, but it's what we all want, I think, if you're on this call, this video. Solving stuff not only on the physical, but also the inner game stuff, the mental, emotional, spiritual, and the money stuff. So you can do what you're here to do in the way that you're here to do it and have the impact that you want to have. So if you want this for you, your version of thriving your life, and have the meaning, your meaning in life, if you're ready to do that, then now is your time. And here's the program. It's going to be 20 sessions, and that's one-on-one for an hour with me over Skype. And I like to do them once a week. They don't have to be absolutely once a week. You can skip a week or 2 or 3 or whatever you want, but I like them to be about once a week if you can. That's not the important part. The important part is that you show up for your sessions when you have them scheduled. And so 20 sessions one-on-one to get to the root causes of your exact conditions. Exactly what I see, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, the belief systems, and shifting to an empowered mindset, the whole thing. And also giving you just one thing, at the most one thing a week. I won't give you something every single week if you don't need it or it's not useful. Only the stuff that's really key for you so that you can actually do it. So that the next time you show up, we do the next root causes, go through more layers, and then give you the next thing that you can do, so that you can start to see real shifts in the autoimmune conditions, the chronic conditions, and the other parts of your life, the big parts of your life, the ones that have meaning. And then part of that program is going to be the group. So for half a year, you're with me once a month for a group session. There's people from all over the world. I've been doing it for quite a few years now, and for 3 years, I think. And in the group session, I'll do a group session for everybody. You'll be sending me your information about what's up for that month, and I'll already know you. And then I'll do a session for everybody on the group, much like this, except that you'll be live with me on the video. And then if you can't make it, you'll have the video to keep for as long as you like anyway. So you can always have the session afterwards. One of the cool things about the group session is I'll be doing actual sessions during the session on different people. We'll be able to talk back and forth, and we'll do a session, and you can have a change when I'm working on you, but other people in the group also have a change at the same time, much like we talked about earlier, how it works. So you'll have the group session, the one-on-one sessions. There's going to be a book. I wrote a whole book called Enlighten Up and Get What You Want. And it was all my study material of everything I learned from all those teachers and healers and coaches and online courses to learn how to get the empowered mindset and to be happy first, and then to have things shift in the physical world because of that. So a lot of cool stuff in that book, very, very specific. It's the how-to manual to do this. And then the other thing that I do, because I thought, how can I give the most to help people? And so this is the biggest level I can see right now. There's another level coming I can sort of see in the future, but this one is the biggest one. And what I added is a Facebook group, and not just your regular Facebook group. What it's going to be is, what it is already is, every evening I do a session. It's a short session, but I take everybody in our group that's on the Thrive Your Life program, and I do a session. And I've had people report back how much shifts in certain nights when I do the session every night. And so there's always copies of me doing these sessions, and it's really fun to see how that shifts. So you get that whole Facebook group too. So and then because I want to really do this for you in a big way, what I'm doing while this registration is open, because I'm going to have to be shutting it down to get started with it, and we're going to have to be shutting it down, and not letting people in because there's only so much time in my week. What I want to do, if you're interested in this, I want to make it something really useful for you. So I'm going to give you 3 extra sessions, 3 extra one-on-one sessions. That's a $750 value. If somebody sees me once a week, one time, it's $250. So that's 3 sessions, 3 one-hour sessions extra added on to the 20 sessions. And if you added up all the money that these would cost, if we were doing it per session, the $250 rate, we're over $5,000 for these sessions. And then if you add in the group sessions, that's another couple $100 for the year. And if you add in the book, it's a little bit. And you add in the Facebook thing, having a small session every single night, that's got to be worth at least $5 a night. And so, that's in the $3,000 range for the year. So a lot of value. So just to know, but it's not so much about how much it costs or what the widgets in it, like what you're getting, this session or that session. It's more about your transformation. And so how much would it be worth for you to shift the chronic autoimmune and other health concern issues? And how much would it be worth for you to shift the victim mindset and get to the root causes of what's going on specifically for you and know exactly what to do to handle it and to keep handling it, and then to learn how to use this energy, how to do what I do? What would it be worth it to you to have that? And that's what this is all about. And it's very easy to let something go and procrastinate and say, well, I'll think about it, or I'll do it, but you know how that goes. It's like we go 6 months down the road and it's like, oh yeah, I remember we were going to do that. And then, you didn't get the transformation. So we've all done that. But if you're serious about really making this change, this is the time. And so the price, you might be thinking, okay, so what is the price, Ralph? This $250 for an hour. So what the price is $2,997. So you can do the math. It's much less than that per visit if you just counted that. But you're also getting the group sessions, the book, and the Facebook group. And so $2,997 to be with me for half a year if you use it once a week. And you can spread it out a little longer if you want. But the most important thing is it's not so much how many sessions you get or what you get like that. It's more getting your transformation, what your life could be like to truly be thriving. So so that's my thing. Now, as far as guarantees, if you for any reason decide, you know what, Ralph, I've had 3 sessions, I'm going to stop. I just don't want to do it for whatever reason. You've already paid up and you're like, I'm just going to stop. I'll prorate it, and we'll do it based on the 20 session rate and get you your money back for any of your unused visits. And you'll still get to keep the resource page and all that information. There's a bunch of videos and trainings and sessions in that. So but that's my guarantee. So I'm not here to take your money, but if without you wanting to do it, but if for some reason you don't want it, that's my guarantee. So so that's it. I've been very excited to get you this information. Go ahead and hit that button, hit the Thrive My Life button, and join me on the inside of this program. We'll be doing once a week sessions and getting right to the root cause of what's going on with you so you can actually thrive your life. And yeah, I'm excited to do this for you and see how your life is transformed and how you thrive your life and how you use this information to help yourself and your family. So yeah, go ahead and hit the Thrive My Life button, and I will see you guys on the inside of the course. This is Ralph Havens signing off. And let's get out there and live. Let's get out there and truly live. Thank you, everybody.